What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. I just want to apologize, guys, that I haven't posted a lot lately. Life has just been pretty rough since Thanksgiving. It's just, it's just been like one thing after another. But I'm not worried about it. We just take the problems head on and deal with them one at a time. So I just hope you guys can understand. Like, they were really personal problems. Just to give you just a little heads up of what was happening, we had a close death in the family, multiple vehicles breaking down. One was a new vehicle that we got in it through a rod. So between Thanksgiving and Christmas, it was crazy. January, everything started getting a little bit better, and then recently this month, 3 weeks ago, my mom, she suffered multiple strokes, and she was in the hospital for almost a week. It was a lot of running, going back and forth, and going to work, making sure, kids are taken care of, things like that. So, and also, 2 weeks ago, I was actually in the hospital, and my girlfriend, she's been having the same issue that I'm having, which is a lot of high blood pressure. So we've been working on going to the hospital, taking care of that stuff, and just wanted you guys to know it's just been rough, and I haven't even had the time to sit down and, get some ideas going and things like that, especially when it happened to my mom, I just didn't want to do anything really. I just wanted to make sure she was fine and everything. But enough of that. I just wanted to give you guys a heads up of that's why I haven't been posting a lot of videos. It's just been, taking care of life and taking care of the people in my life right now, and that's all that matters. And I hope I don't upset anyone by saying that, but that's just how it is. But anyways, guys, I've picked up quite a few books lately, and I'm kind of excited about them to read them, and I thought I'd share them with you guys. Right now I'm in the middle of one, and I need to finish reading it. But like I said, it's been crazy lately. But yeah, so the first book that I purchased, it's called Hidden Warbirds. Now I've gotten these off of Amazon and on eBay, used and stuff like that. So they're not all like most of them. Some of them aren't brand new, but this book, Hidden Warbirds, basically just tells the stories of finding old warbirds, the recovery of the old warbirds, and the restoration, which is really fascinating. There's a lot of different stories about a lot of different planes in this book, and it's fascinating. And I've actually learned a lot about where I'm from. There's actually a naval station, and I can't remember the name off the top of my head. From where I'm from in Illinois, it was a naval station located right on the shore of Lake Michigan, and I found out quite a few interesting things. I found out that they actually had mock-up aircraft carriers, and they would practice landings on these aircraft carriers. I believe it was the USS Sable and the USS Wolverine. And yeah, some of the planes missed, and they ended up in Lake Michigan, and there's quite a few stories about that. I thought about doing my own research and figuring it out, because I don't remember ever hearing of that. So that's something I could look into for another video or sometime, do some research on that. Sorry guys, getting a little too fast. But yeah, so I'm in the middle of this one right now. So while I was doing that, I went ahead and purchased the second one so I could read it too, and it's Hidden Warbirds too. Really, really interesting stuff, fascinating, and it's just interesting to find out some of the things that the guys that wanted to restore these planes, the loopholes and the permits and everything that they had to go through just to get it. And that doesn't include the people, like, because a lot of these are, they're in the Pacific, they're in New Guinea, everywhere, that had a war. But really interesting stuff, fascinating. Now, I don't know if any of you guys have heard of a store called Ollie's. I just recently got introduced to this store, and it's a pretty neat little store. I didn't know what it was, and my girlfriend, my fiance, told me we should go in there and look. There's some pretty cool stuff. So I was like, I don't know. But I'm glad I did, because I found a lot of books that, really interest me, and I can't wait to read them. So I figured I could share them with you guys. Now, the first one, it's like a little smaller book, but it's got a lot of stuff in it. And this one's called Military Aircraft, over 300 of the greatest modern military aircraft. And as you can see, if I can show you, there's a lot of different things about planes. Oh, wow. Opened up to an F4 Phantom. But yeah, lots of stuff like that in there. Can't wait to read it. Specs, what their roles were in the war, and things like that. And then found another one. It's actually called Aircraft of World War II, 300 of the World's Greatest Aircraft, 1939 to 1945. I need to learn more about warbirds besides just the ones that I know, and I figured, why not? This would be something cool to read. Now this one, I actually got this out of a bin at one of the Amazon stores. I don't know if anybody else has them, but we have quite a few around here where they put stuff, returns from Amazon. You go in there and pick it out, and I got it for $1. And I don't know anything about the guy that wrote it. His name's Robert Turkla. I think he's a YouTube personality, and I don't know much about him. But the co-author I knew a little bit about from podcasts and stuff and from other videos on YouTube. Nick Irving, I believe he's the Reaper. I believe he was an Army sniper. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure he was Army. I might be wrong, so don't be too mad at me if I got that wrong, because I don't know a ton about him. But that's that book. Now this book I thought was fascinating when I seen it. I don't know what I'm going to find in it, but I've been doing a lot of like research of just like researching, famous celebrities who are actively involved in the military. And so I thought this one was really cool because I like old Hollywood too, like Clark Gable and stuff like that. I like reading about their stories and stuff. But this one's called Hollywood Victory, the movie stars and stories of World War II. So I thought that would be cool to read because I did learn about, like I said, Clark Gable. He was actually, for 5 missions, he was actually a gunner on a B-17. So I knew that.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
I found out a lot of things, especially like about, Donald Pleasance from Halloween. Sorry if I pronounced that last name wrong. Dr. Loomis.
Is this some kind of joke? I've been trick-or-treated to death tonight. You don't know what death is.
He was actually a prisoner of war in the Royal Air Force in World War II. And the story that I remember reading was while they were filming The Great Escape, because he's in that movie with Charles Bronson and James Garner, I guess the directors weren't trying to take any of his ideas about prisoners of war. And finally, Charles Bronson and James Garner had to pull the directors to the side and be like, hey, he was a prisoner of war in World War II, right? Things like that. I found out quite a few surprising things, just how decorated Jimmy Stewart was. He was wow. I didn't know that about Jimmy Stewart at all. So I don't know if I'm going to find stuff like that in there or what, but it looks like an interesting read, and I'm like excited to read it. So that's that one. Now the second one that I found was, this thing's pretty thick and big.
That's what she said.
Yeah. It's called The Encyclopedia of Military Aircraft, and you can just see how thick that is. And it's from World War I to present. And I remember reading about the F-22 in here, so it's pretty present. Now this book's really cool. And when I picked it up, this is like the first one I picked up and looked at because it interested me. It's called Dogfight. And this actually takes takes and compares military aircraft they compare them from World War I to present day. Sorry guys, I was losing my train of thought there for a sec. But yeah, it basically takes them and, like, I don't know, it's kind of like a verse like this plane versus this plane kind of thing. That's how I understand it, but haven't read it yet, so I'm not sure. And then the last one that I bought from Ollie's is it's a pretty big one too. That's what she said. The history of World War II, the campaigns, battles, and weapons from 1939 to 1945. So yeah, I'm kind of excited to read that too. But I got a lot of stuff. I've got to stop buying books. I've got too much stuff on my plate right now to read. But yeah, I thought those were cool books. I can't wait to read them, especially that Hollywood one, because I don't know what I'm gonna read in that. I know I've seen a few shots of the Tuskegee Airmen in here, so I don't know what that's gonna. What this book's actually about. Now the last one, I actually just got it in the mail today. This book, I actually found out about this story, and it's about a Medal of Honor recipient. Now, once I start getting into a little more detail here in a second, you guys that know a little bit more than me or know as much as I do, you're gonna know who this story is about, especially the Medal of Honor. when I first seen, I found out about this Medal of Honor story probably like a year and a half ago, and I was scrolling through YouTube, just watching videos. It's probably something, I don't know what I was watching at that time, honestly, guys, but I seen the thumbnail and everything, and it said, first ever Medal of Honor recorded. I was like, I didn't know if that was true, and I was like, is this fake? I sat there and I was like, okay. So I did click it. I clicked on it and started watching, and I was like, as soon as it started playing, I was like, yep, this is real. This is 100% real. And that's when everything changed. I want to be honest with you guys. This is one of the stories that I've read that just, it's affected me. Now, I know that sounds weird, but it really does. I didn't know if I should watch that video or not. And after I got done watching it, I was pretty emotional. Yeah. So, of course, this is the story of John Chapman, for all of you that might not know. Probably one of the bravest men that I have ever seen. This video, I don't know, I almost felt bad after watching it. And I know that's I don't know if that's weird to say or not. I just had that feeling. I was like, this overwhelming sadness that came over me, but the overwhelming sense of pride of seeing a man do what he did. I don't feel qualified really to talk a lot about it, but I know there's a lot of controversy about it, and I really suggest you guys look into this story, and look for the truth yourself. That's all I really can say about it, because right now it's just my opinion, and it doesn't mean anything, but this man was done wrong. That's all I can really say, because I don't feel comfortable talking more really about that. But yeah, I'm even losing the words right now, guys. It's just so emotional. And it was recently brought up this about the Medal of Honor Museum that's going in Texas. So I suggest you guys do that for yourself, and form your own opinions on everything that's happened. Like I said, this man was done wrong, very wrong. There's so many emotions when I think about this story, but instead of just keep jabbering on, I'll show you guys. This is Alone at Dawn, and it's by Dan Schelling and Lori Chapman Longfritz, which I believe is his sister. But this is the story of Master Sergeant John Chapman. Like I said, I got goosebumps right now. I don't know if you guys, I don't think you can see them on this crappy camera, but this story's like resonated with me, and I wanted to buy this book and read it. Yeah. One of the story, guys, you got to look into it. For you guys that don't know about this Medal of Honor story, look into it. It's one of the bravest men and bravest souls I've ever seen in my entire life. And it's a lot. It's hard. Like I said, I felt bad for watching that video because I didn't know if it was real. And then after it started, I knew insanely it was. The whole footage, which was captured by a CIA Predator drone, and yeah. So I've been wanting to pick this up for quite a while, and yeah, John Chapman, Master Sergeant John Chapman, one of the bravest. Wow, I can't even talk about it, guys. It's just so emotional, He was such a hero. That's, I don't think there's any kind of word that can express how good of a man this was. And I've seen interviews with his mom. She's just a little old lady, and she's one of the sweetest one of the sweetest people I've ever seen speak. She just was so, she raised him right. But very emotional story. But yeah, guys. So yeah, I got quite a bit to read here. So I'm going to stop buying books for now, and hopefully within the next, should be getting warmer out and stuff. We've been dealing with actually blizzards and cold weather down here, but Kansas weather, it's like one day it's like -10, and then the next week, literally, it was 70 degrees. So hope you guys enjoyed this. Sorry I haven't been around lately, like I said, but I wanted to give some updates. So hope you guys have a good day, and I will see you guys later.
fever. And the only prescription is more cowbell.